What's up and welcome to my channel where I believe the only two things you need to have a successful business is YouTube and sales funnels. So today I want to go ahead and jump right into it. The 27 things you need to avoid doing in business to be successful. Now I've been in business for 11 years at this point. I've had sales funnels bring in $25,000 for one gig, like one thing, not $25,000 total, like once. I used to shoot weddings back in the day. I got out of that, but I was booking weddings anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of the funnel building stuff. I've done a lot of funnels for other people. I've done launches, 5-figure launches with funnels before. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of this, but I'm also really connected. I don't like name dropping, but I also worked really hard to get to where I'm at. So I've come to peace with it because I work with the guy who kind of made funnels possible today. Russell Brunson is my boss. He is an awesome guy. I love that guy. But I want to bring to you 27 things you need to avoid doing in business if you want to be successful. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Number one is relying solely on Instagram for ads. Now you're like, why do you start off here? Because so many people think I'm going to make money. So they go to Instagram or TikTok, or nobody really goes to Facebook. Let's be real. Instagram or TikTok right now are the two top ones. That will change over the course of time. If you're watching this video 20 years after I put it out, those platforms might not even exist anymore. But people think, oh, I'm gonna go to Instagram, I'm gonna grow my following there, and then I'm gonna make a lot of money. Don't rely on Instagram to bring you a lot of money. There needs to be like a content creation flow. So if you're constantly just creating for one platform, it is doable. It takes a special type of person to do that. It takes like that content creator. And then you have a whole plethora of other problems that come from just focusing on Instagram. If you're on there and you have your mini chat set up to sell things and you're constantly posting and you're like, hey, DM me this or comment this and I'll give you this thing or whatever it is. Instagram can be a great way to get leads. It is one of the methods, but don't solely rely on your Instagram following or your TikTok following to bring in sales. That is going to be a major problem if Instagram ever decides or TikTok ever decides that it wants to block you for whatever reason it decides, or if TikTok goes away again, that could be a problem. So don't rely on other platforms to be your sole driver of sales. For instance, I had an Instagram account for my old wedding videography business. I think it had like 600 or 700 followers and it was a 6-figure business. Yeah, you don't need tons of followers on those platforms, but I also didn't get all of my leads from those platforms. So it can be a vanity metric. Be careful. This one, I've got a great story for this next one. You don't need a fancy logo before you start. So I used to be a perfectionist to a horrible fault. And back in the day, I had my video production company, which is the same company that I build funnels under now for people as Repeat Productions. That's my funnel building agency now. But it used to be wedding videography. Like if you go on that Facebook page, which I don't even use that much, you'll see wedding videos. But I used to think that a logo was super important. I went to school for graphic design, so it was just kind of drilled in me like graphics are so important. But yes, it can be important if you're Apple or Google or any of those. But like for like you and me, just trying to create a 7-figure business, it's not near as important as you think. Nobody cares. Please don't waste too much time. Me and my wife at the time were trying to rebrand Repeat Productions and give it a fresher look, because I created the logo when I was in college and it was very masculine and fell into doing wedding videography full time, and there was the disconnect. So we're like, we're gonna rebrand it, make it more feminine, lighter colors, that kind of stuff. It caused arguments in our relationship because we both had different thoughts and ideas, and I should have just let her roll with it and just said yes, whatever. But it was my perfectionist side that, oh, I don't like that as much, I don't like this as much. I should have just been like, hey, here's some money, go get somebody to design it until you like it. That's what I should have done, because it genuinely doesn't matter. Do you know how many of those brides that booked me could tell me what my logo looks like today? Probably not one of them could tell you, because it's not important to them. It's a vanity metric again for myself. You're probably the only one that really cares about the logo. So please don't put a lot of time into that. If you have a VA that does graphics, helps with social stuff, be like, hey, can you go make a script, like a font logo? It doesn't even have to have like a logo attached to it. And now with AI being as crazy as it is, run with that. It does not have to be insane, guys. All right, guilty of this next one as well. Spending months perfecting a website with no idea how to get traffic, with no traffic going to it. And I'm not the only one that's guilty of this. I used to have a friend and she was an amazing business. I don't want to give too much away because I genuinely still respect this person, but every 6 to 8 months, she would completely redesign her website. Now, if you're watching this and you know who you are, I love you. I think you're amazing. You didn't need to do that. You don't need to redesign your website every 6 to 8 months. You don't need the perfect website to launch. Honestly, you don't need a website to launch. We'll get into that later. You don't need a website, but if you're getting a website, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just throw one up there so people get the bare minimum information they need to launch. Yes, you can improve as you go, but don't put too much stock in your website, especially if you don't have traffic. All right, the next one kind of builds on the last one. Don't sell straight from your homepage. So back in the day when I was getting started in wedding videography, I was a full-time wedding videographer. And I say that in air quotes because I went into that year with one wedding on the books. And at the time I was charging $2,000, which means for the entire year, my forecasting of my year, like now you look at your year and you're like, oh, I'm going to make X amount of dollars this year. I had projected to make $2,000. Was not great, right? I started a podcast to interview people to find out how to do business, which worked because by the end of that year, I think I made like $67,000. Anyways, I interviewed this one guy, this one guy, his name's Max. He was really awesome. He actually sent me a card on my birthday. It was super nice of him. Anyways, I interviewed him because he was an ads expert. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Because I was running ads, I wasn't really getting anything. And he's like, oh, and he was going through his whole spiel and he got to one part and he's like, well, and when you send them to your blog post or whatever, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people start off, they send them to like their homepage or something and they just lose the traffic. I was like, as he was saying that, I was like laughing. I was starting to giggle. He's like, don't tell me you're doing that, Matt. Come on. Don't tell me. I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. Don't try to sell from your homepage. Don't send traffic to your homepage on your website. Your homepage is like, it's there for SEO. It's there to like drop on your Facebook page or whatever. The whole goal of your business is to make money, right? You sell from a funnel. Sales funnels, they're called sales funnels for a reason because they sell, right? So don't try to sell from your homepage. Your homepage, it's called a funnel hub. That's how I was introduced to this in the funnel world. Not a website, funnel hub, same look, same design and everything pretty much, but it changes that mental shift in your brain of, oh, I need a website, so I need an about page, I need this, I need that, to a funnel hub is a hub for all of your funnels, right? If you have multiple different offerings, different products, services, freebies, whatever, your funnel hub, your website, the whole point is to be like, hey, I'm Matt Peet. I can give you this thing. I can provide this service. I can give you that course. I can give you this thing. It is a hub for your funnels that make you money because the funnels sell through psychology and through design, and every part of it is designed to sell. Your website is not. Your website is a giant distraction. And again, like the first 2 points, more than likely a vanity metric. Oh, and when I finally shifted and went to actually selling using a funnel, because the way this guy told me about it, this is like before I even heard about ClickFunnels. I think ClickFunnels may have been in its startup year at this point, around 2015. He told me, he's like, okay, here's what you do. You take your blog, you write a blog post, what's called cornerstone content, of like why you need a wedding videographer is what I did. And I went through and and this is before AI, so I actually wrote this super long blog post. I put videos in it, like past weddings and testimonials in there. It was amazing. And then at the end of the blog post, I would say, hey, if you want to make sure that we have your date available, go ahead and go over to my contact page and fill out the contact form, and that'll put a soft hold on your date. So if anybody else contacts us, we come to you first because you have first dibs, right? And that I would run ads to that blog post, not to the website, to the blog post. I would have people comment and be like, oh my gosh, you're such a good writer. This is so amazing. Like as they like filled out my contact form. And that was the shift for me from running ads and not getting anything to running ads and actually getting booked clients, which again, at that time I was charging probably $2,500, $3,000. One booked wedding was huge, right? So yeah, don't sell straight from your homepage. You need a funnel. You're in the right place to learn about that. That's what I talk about. All right, this next one's kind of controversial because I know people in the funnel world who don't agree with this. I don't believe in using like a LinkTree in your social media platforms. Why? Because I am a funnel purist. I believe in funneling the traffic where I want it to go, right? And by giving a LinkTree, you're basically installing a website in the middle of your social media traffic. which websites are bad because they give so many different places to go, especially like the media. Anyways, it's bad. I believe one, maybe two places that you're directing traffic, and all of my effort goes towards those things. So for one, I want people to, whether it's join a course or grab a free thing or whatever it is, like that's the link in my bio. And I might put one in there as like an affiliate link because I love ClickFunnels. I love promoting ClickFunnels and I like getting affiliate kickback from ClickFunnels and helping people with that. So maybe like a bridge page to getting ClickFunnels, something like that. But yeah, I don't want to go crazy with my funnel, with my links in my bio. So like using like a LinkTree or building out your own LinkTree with ClickFunnels or whatever. I don't want to do that because it adds confusion. People go to my website, they see a reel that I put out and they go to my Instagram page and they click on the LinkTree and then there's like 15 different things and I have to worry about keeping all of them updated. Do you know how many times I've been to somebody's LinkTree and there's like a ton of links and you click on one and because it looks cool and then it's like a broken link or it's 6 years old or whatever, like it's another thing to keep track of. So if I have one or two links in my bio, then I know what I'm pushing to when I create my content. It gives me puts the blinders on. Hey, I'm not gonna be talking about this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing over there and that thing. Blinders. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. A bunch of people think different ways. A bunch of people say that's wrong because not everybody fits into those specific buckets, but I disagree. I'm a funnel purist. I believe that the content I create should make people want to click on my bio and the links in my bio should be related to the content I create that pushes them into my sales funnels, which gets me leads, which gets me sales. I could be wrong. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken about that one. My dad says that all the time. Trying to go viral. Next one's trying to go viral instead of building an email list. Super basic, super easy to understand. Don't spend a ton of time trying to get 600,000 views on a TikTok video. Instead, build an email list. Like we kind of related to the last one, create content that pushes to a freebie that gives it away so you grow your email list. Email list is most important. Remember that. Number 7, posting content without a call to action. Like for instance, in this video, if you want a PDF list of Outlier YouTube titles that I've curated from other people's videos, from Outliers, from their channels, go to mattpeet.com/titles and you get that totally for free. But if you post content without a call to action, then what's the point? So Russell taught me this thing through his books and through working with him, that whenever you post content, whether it's a YouTube video, an Instagram post, whatever, hook, story, offer. What is the hook that's going to get them to read? That can be the image, that can be the first line of text, that can be the title, whatever platform you're on, the first thing that they see is going to be the hook, right? So hook, then the story, why is it relevant? Then the offer. Now, people think CTA means I'm always selling something. An offer doesn't have to be that. An offer can be, hey, comment titles down below in this YouTube video, and I'm gonna drop the link for you to download that PDF absolutely free. Comment titles down below. That is a CTA. A CTA can also be like when you put an Instagram post up and be like, hey, if you know somebody who would need this information, share this with them. That's a call to action. Call to action doesn't mean you're selling something. It means you're calling the viewer to an action, right? Like this post, share this post, subscribe to my channel, whatever it is, right? Don't post without a call to action. Next, creating content without a niche or a strategy. If you're just throwing content out there, more than likely you're competing with people like Mr. Beast and it's a competition you're probably not gonna win. So create a niche industry that you wanna work in. For me, it's YouTube and funnels. I want to reach the people on YouTube that want to make money, right? And I'm here to tell you it's possible. You need to create YouTube videos and you need to have sales funnels. Those are the two things. Everything else can come after those two things, but those are the two core things, right? Okay, cool. Next one, again, super controversial, but I will stand by it because I'm a funnel purist, using Etsy or Shopify, things like that, to sell stuff with no upsell process. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I hate Shopify. I've tried to use it. I've tried to build with it. I've built on WordPress. I've used shortcode. I've coded my own websites from scratch back in the day. And I enjoyed that more than Shopify. Oh my gosh, I hated Shopify so much because simple things you should be able to do, it doesn't allow you to do. It's like, oh, you want to do that? You have to learn to code. It's 2025. We shouldn't have to learn to code to use a platform to sell things nowadays. We're past that. AI does that now. Don't sell with Etsy, Shopify, any of those places. You want to collect email addresses and you want to have an upsell path, right? You don't want to just end with the first thing you sell. it's a whole funnel system, right? Stick around on my channel. You'll learn a lot more about it, I promise. All right, next one, number 10, building a course without testing demand. I can't tell you how many courses I've created, how many products I've created in my life that I created and that didn't have anybody to launch it to, didn't know if people even wanted it. So make sure you know there's demand for it before you create it. And you can do that by pre-selling. If you already have an audience, send an email to them, be like, hey, I've got this thing. Do you want to buy it? You're going to get a discount and then you get to build it with me, kind of thing. So many different ways to do this, but make sure there's a need, a want, a desire to pay for the thing that you're going to build before you go build it, please. All right, next one. I've got personal experience with this one too. Relying on cold DMs to sell. So sliding into the DMs, be like, hey, how's your day going? Do you want to buy a thing? I've tried it. I've implemented a system. I'm not going to mention the system I implemented because I genuinely think it could work. I just don't have the bandwidth to put into it, to tweaking it. And I'm not a salesperson necessarily. Like I'm not like a one-to-one salesperson. So maybe it works. I've used a system that helped me automate cold outreach. And I used it for a month or two. And I think I had one person respond out of all. It was terrible. Cold DMs, I'm clearly not the best at it. So I don't like that. I don't like cold DMs. I would rather build up goodwill with people by creating content like this and sharing things than doing that. So if you're out there and somebody's trying to sell you like, oh, you need to hire me to DM people and I'll get you leads or whatever, just don't. Create content, provide value, skip over the cold DMs. It's kind of spammy and in my experience, wasted some money that I could have put into other stuff. So yeah, cold DMs wasn't really it for me. Next one kind of goes into the one we talked about earlier, paying for ads before you validated the thing you're trying to sell. So Russell, when he launched Selling Online, his 3-day challenge, the first launch, he sent an email to his list and said, hey, we're going to do this event. You should come join. And those people came in and bought, and those people funded it. They were the proof of concept. He didn't run $1 million worth of ads the first month to see if it was going to work. He sent emails. People came in, saw that the thing worked, improved it and worked on it and tweaked it and everything, and then was putting money behind it. And he said in one of his YouTube videos that he put like $950,000 a month. And obviously that's going up as, it fluctuates as it works and we're tweaking and everything like that. But putting ad money behind something before you've proved that it works organically, create the thing, put out organic content, reach out to an email list you already have, work with people to collaborate to see if their audience wants it. There's so many ways to do it, but don't just create the thing and start running ad money to it. Prove that it works first. I mean, unless you just have money to burn, that's cool, I guess. All right, next one, number 13 is launching on all of the platforms before you've mastered one. If you know me, again, YouTube and funnels, I think you should focus on YouTube. It is a much bigger rabbit hole than you think. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna post on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and it's just you, please, I wouldn't even consider repurposing to those other platforms yet. Just focus on YouTube, especially if you've never done YouTube before, because there's so much to learn between thumbnails. That's a whole science in itself. How many words should you put on a thumbnail? What other graphics can you put on there that's gonna draw attention and grab attention? Where does the eye look first? Titles, what's gonna grab attention in the titles? What's gonna get people to click in the titles? If you don't know this stuff, please focus on YouTube first because it'll make you better in all the other platforms when you start. If you focus on one, it allows you to master that one and then go to the others. Building on that, so many people ignore YouTube because it takes too long. This is the next one, number 14, not launching on YouTube because it can take too long. Yes, it is a longer process than just going on Instagram and throwing up a picture of yourself and being like, launch my business today, go here to sign up. Yeah, obviously that's gonna be easier, but put the work in because it's a content waterfall. You start with YouTube, this long form piece of content, and then it can trickle down content from there once you're ready. So you can take a YouTube video, put it into a system, have a VA, an AI system, whatever you want, where you put in a video and you pull content from it. You pull Instagram graphics, Instagram posts, you can pull reels from it. You can pull ideas and then record the reels natively if you want to. You don't have to pull from video from YouTube. If you don't like that style of content, don't do it. But start with YouTube, please. It is a lot more work. There's a lot to learn, but if you don't start, then you'll never learn it. So you might as well go ahead and just start with YouTube. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I love talking about this stuff and could do it all day. All right, next one. A lot of you out there are doing coaching for different things. You have an expertise. You want to sell that expertise. I do the same thing. I know funnels really well. I coach people on funnels regularly. So selling coaching with emails or Instagram without having a funnel. if you want to do it, I would suggest having a funnel for it. Have an application funnel, phone funnel. That way people can go on and they see your funnel, why you're amazing, why you are the perfect person to be their coach, and then a calendar so they can schedule a time with you, right? They can apply to be one of your clients, basically. It's application funnel. So I would highly recommend, if you're a coach, building a funnel to sell your services, to sell your time, because it's really important. You're selling your time. That is the most valuable resource. Make sure you sell it right. All right, next one, thinking you need 10,000 followers before you sell anything. Like I said, my old video production business, I think I had like 600 or 700 followers on Instagram, and it was a 6-figure business. You don't need thousands and thousands of followers to make money, right? Go ahead and create your offers. Like I watched a video from Sunny Lenarduzzi recently where she talks about how to make money from day one. Like, make offers, because that can make you money from day one. You know, if you have a high ticket offer, like for me, funnel building, say, hey, go to repeatproductions.com to get your funnel built. If one person watches this video and that one person happens to want a funnel built and they're willing to pay for it, great. I would not have made that money had I not put out that offer, right? All right, next one's a little controversial, and I want to say it with a caveat, but outsourcing everything from the very beginning. Now, yes, outsourcing is important. You do need to be outsourcing. I have a VA now. I have a team of people who build funnels for me, with me. I approve everything, obviously, and still touch every funnel. But if you outsource everything from the beginning, it makes it so you don't learn the process yourself. I did wedding videography for years, and I was the only one that did it. It was me running the business. My ex would help me shoot, but website creation, lead generation, sales, all of that was me. So I developed a huge list of skill sets that I now possess today across the board because I spent years running my own business. Now, should I have? No, I should not have done it that long. I should have done it for a short window and then outsource things that I could. I wasn't that smart back then. I didn't do that. Now it's like, hey, I want to create this content and then I want to outsource the repurposing of the content. So I've hired somebody to do that. I want to build funnels, but I don't want to do like the wireframe, the first initial build. I want to work on it once that part's already laid out, right? I want to work with the clients. I love talking with people about their business. So outsource, yes, but not everything from day one, unless you are already rich and you have tons of money to burn. Great, good for you. Most of us aren't in that situation. So we're not going to outsource everything from day one. We're going to learn about the business. Next one is starting like a podcast or a YouTube channel or anything like that before you have anything to sell. So if you're thinking from a business side of things, Gary Vaynerchuk used to say that money is oxygen to your business. You need money. So if you don't have a product or a service to sell, you need something, because if you don't have anything, then how's your business going to survive, right? For me, I do coaching calls and I sell funnel builds. I'm creating other offers that are lower ticket and higher ticket, that kind of stuff. But I have things to sell when I'm launching all of this. Don't launch with nothing to offer. Again, always have a call to action, right? You want to get leads. You want to grow your email list. Super important. Have something to sell people. Next one, selling low ticket offers with no backend offer. There's a thing called the value ladder, where you bring people in and they go up this ladder of increasing value, right? So like, hey, grab my free thing. Oh, you want a coaching call? Cool. You're bringing people in and you're moving them up this value ladder as slowly or as quickly as you can, right? I know Eileen Wilder talks about having high ticket offers and selling $250,000 offers, that kind of crazy stuff. I'm not there yet, one day. But having that value ladder, and this is why I don't like things like Shopify or Etsy, because you can't do that. And if you can, it's not near as easy. If you use ClickFunnels, super easy to build onto your funnel and say, hey, you grab my freebie. Do you want a coaching call? Do you want this course? Do you want to join my membership for X amount of dollars per month? You can upsell through the process as they're warmed up and introduced to you, right? So don't sell things without a backend offer to actually make the money. Next one is super important. This one, oh my gosh, I can't believe how many people don't believe me when I tell them this, but not collecting emails from day one. Your email list is the most important asset that you can have. You need to grow your email list. Please don't skip on the email list. You can be removed from Instagram. You can be removed from TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. All these platforms can ban you and you lose the ability to contact the audience that you have generated, right? But if you have an email list, say you have 1 million followers across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all these places, and you've sent them all to a funnel at some point and say 10% of those signed up. And then one day something happens and all of the social media goes away for whatever reason. maybe you just decide to delete everything. You now have a list of 100,000 people who have proven that they're interested in what you have to sell or what you have to offer, your content. You can still email those people. That cannot be taken away from you. You can export that list and continue using it. Next one I'm guilty of as well. Number 21, changing offers consistently because it didn't sell. More than likely is, yes, there's a chance you created an offer that nobody wants, so nobody's gonna buy it. That is a potential. Most of the time, what I see people doing is they create an offer and it doesn't sell because it's an 80-20 rule. They spent 80% of their time building this offer, this course, this whatever, membership, and then 20% of their time marketing it, and they're like, nobody's buying. It's because you haven't done enough yet. You haven't marketed enough. You're not blue in the face from talking about how awesome your offer is yet, right? Like for me, mattpeet.com/titles, I've literally gone through, used software to find outliers from other people's channels, and I've pulled the titles they use and I've put it on a spreadsheet and ranked it so that way ChatGPT knows which ones are the most popular and which ones can fit your content the best. So I love that PDF. I throw it in a ChatGPT. It's like, hey, what can the title of this YouTube be based on my transcript of the video? It's amazing. It makes it so fast to come up with titles if you don't already have a system for doing that. I love it. Don't think that because nobody's bought yet when you just launched that you need to go create a different offer. Sell the thing you created. We've talked about it. You've proven that people want it, right? Now just go market your butt off. Number 22, ignoring storytelling in your marketing. A lot of people do this because that imposter syndrome comes out where they're like, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Nobody likes me that much. I'm long-winded. Whatever you tell yourself, maybe, I talk in circles. Whatever thing you're telling yourself in your brain, you need to flip the script on that because stories are what helps sell. I've told a few stories over the course of this one video alone, right? You need to actually start tracking your stories. Use a journaling app, record your stories, start a podcast, a daily one where you just record your story and put it out into the world. If nobody listens, that's fine. You have a record of your stories, right? Stories are so important when it comes to help connect with people and sell things, whether it's on a funnel or driving traffic to that funnel. You need stories. For instance, my brother, he's a pastor. He's been doing it for 15-ish years now, maybe more, probably more. Anyways, he has all of his sermon notes from the past 15 years. He's also journaled since he was 15, like a nerd. And I'm so jealous because he was able to take his digital journal entries, which he uses a thing called Day One, which I've started using now for this reason. Take all of his sermon notes, all of his journal entries, put it into a custom ChatGPT bot. And now he can go in there and be like, hey, here's a story or here's a point I'm trying to make. What are 3 stories? Russell Brunson actually did that too with his podcast. He took all his podcast transcripts on his book PDFs, threw it into ChatGPT, and now he can be like, hey, what's a topic I haven't talked about in 5 years and what are 3 good stories to go along with it? And ChatGPT can pull it. You need to be using stories. Stories are super important. I just told you 2, one about my brother and one about Russell, right? You need to be using stories because it helps drive the point home. Number 23, thinking that more content equals more sales without a strategy. You need a strategy. Everything that I put out has a strategy behind it. Like I said at the very beginning of this recording, you didn't see it probably. I think I recorded it. This is 27 things to avoid in business. This is not a core piece. This is going to push back to a video called What is a Funnel? How to build a funnel, something like that. I got videos talking about funnel building. It's going to push back to that, right? So the strategy is make a good piece of content that then pushes to another piece of content. Have a strategy. Don't just throw out content. Number 24 is trying to build a brand before you have cash flow. Like I said earlier, cash is oxygen to a business. If you're out there and you're worried about like, oh, what about my brand? Start build that as you go, right? This is the whole entrepreneur method of jump and then build the plane on the way down kind of thing. Like it's never going to be perfect. If you're waiting for it to be perfect, it's not going to be. Like they say about having kids, they're like, if you wait till you're ready to have a kid, you're never going to have a kid. If you wait till your brand is perfect before you launch, you're never gonna launch. I believe it was the creator of LinkedIn in his book talked about if you've waited until you're proud to launch your product, you've waited too long to launch it. You should be embarrassed by the first launch because you're not ready yet. Your brand is not gonna be perfect when you launch. Please don't try to force it to be. That is a squirrel that your brain is chasing to procrastinate the real problem, which is selling things. Brand comes second. Brand will grow as you put out content and as you grow. 25, using WordPress to build your sales funnels. Please don't. People are like, oh, there's so many good things, there's pros and cons. No, it's unless you're a website developer, please don't use WordPress. I've used it. I used it for years, and I can't tell you how many problems I had. I got hacked multiple times. I was on Bluehost with like a VPN. I got hacked, and they told me that basically what happened is the hacker turned my server into what's called a honeypot, which basically means they put whatever content they want on it. So when traffic lands, it sends them where they want to go. It's a honeypot because it's just delivering them honey, the sweet stuff, right? That's how it was described to me. I don't know if that's true or not. Got hacked multiple times. And when I was hacked, they're like, oh, well, you need to pay us more money to get it unhacked. I'm like, I pay you money to protect my stuff. The backups didn't work. They're like, oh, you get a daily backup and a weekly backup. So if you ever get hacked, you're fine, and a yearly or something like that. The backup system apparently failed too. So don't trust that. The themes, templates, all that needs to be updated. All the plugins that you install. So like if you use WordPress, you're like, oh, I'm gonna use WordPress. I'm gonna use Elementor, one Elementor. Oh my gosh, I could go down a rabbit hole for this. I won't. But basically you have to keep everything updated. And if you don't, it makes you more susceptible to being hacked. But if you do, and you update something and something goes wrong on the back end, I've literally updated a plugin before and my entire website went white the day before I was speaking at an event to sell my services. White page when you go to it. I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning on the phone with Bluehost trying to get that problem solved. Don't use WordPress, please. Just go sign up for ClickFunnels, mattpeet.com/ClickFunnels. Just trust me. Number 26, focusing too much on aesthetics instead of conversions. The graphic design of a funnel, it doesn't have to be pretty. There's a lot of really ugly funnels. I'm talking like funnels that look like they were built in 1998 and never touched again that are making money. Yes, aesthetics important, but if you're not a designer and you don't have the money to hire a designer, don't let that stop you. It's okay to have an ugly funnel to launch if you're putting out good content and you're a likable person. People will go there and be like, yeah, but this is so-and-so, I'm gonna buy their stuff because they're amazing. It doesn't have to be amazing looking to work. Trust me, I've seen it. Number 27, we've reached the last one here. And this is my favorite because I went through it and I'm watching my brother go through it right now, is undervaluing your high ticket items out of fear. If you've been going down this rabbit hole for any amount of time, you probably have developed a skill set which you're fairly good at, whether that's communicating on camera, so you're really good at this kind of stuff, or building websites, or shooting videos, or washing cars, or pet grooming, or whatever it is, you have a skill set. And you are more than likely undervaluing that, so you're selling it for cheaper than you should be. I did this for the longest time. I had my wedding video business. I was charging $2,000. I got to $2,500 to $3,000, and I stopped booking clients for a solid 8 months there. I just wasn't booking anything. I was getting calls, but I wouldn't sell anything. And it wasn't until somebody came to me and said, hey, here's your problem. They pinpointed it, and when I changed this, it changed everything for me. So when I was at $1,500 to $2,000 for my wedding videos, I was booking constantly, right? It was amazing. I was doing so well. Went to 25 to 3,000, stopped booking. The problem was I was too expensive for the cheaper brides that could no longer afford me, but I was too cheap for the expensive brides. So they're like, raise your prices again. I was terrified because for 8 months I hadn't booked hardly anything, right? Obviously fear inducing. I raised my prices. I went from 25 to $3,000 to $4,500. Started getting booked again like crazy, but this time it was by brides. If you've been in the service industry, you know that people who don't pay you a lot, they want a lot of fixes, a lot of changes. Oh, they want to tweak this, want to tweak that, because they've invested money in you, and for them, it's a ton of money, right? Once you're charging more money, the people who can afford you trust you. It's not their life savings going into your service. So I had a client pay me 15 grand, didn't ask for one change on his video. He's like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, tip me and everything. My brother's going through this right now as I'm recording, in a good way. He's charging for his wedding videos. I don't know what he's charging anymore, but he shot a wedding last week. Did what I told him, where he's like delivering the videos super fast. And I believe he said it was the groom. It was either the groom or the mother of the bride. I can't remember. Came up to him the next day because he had already delivered the videos and gave him a $1,200 tip. I think he's charging $2,000 to $2,500 right now. Gave him a $1,200 tip and said, you're not charging enough, raise your prices. Don't undervalue yourself. That is a trap that sucks in so many people, especially if you're just getting started in the business world. You have a skill set, but you think, oh, it's too expensive. Like One more quick story. When I was working at a church, when I first graduated with graphic design, I was working there. I was also doing weddings on the side, and I was just getting started with that. And one of the guys at the church asked me, he's like, hey, real quick, what do you charge for weddings? Again, just getting started, charging $2,000 for a wedding. I told him what I was charging. He looks at me and goes, oh my gosh, you're raping them. I was taken back for multiple reasons, obviously, use of that word. But two, I was just like, $2,000 is not a lot of money. Like my mindset, even though I was working in a church making $24,000, I was like, I know people making $5,000-6,000 doing weddings at the time. Little I know that will be like the bottom end for what I would charge eventually. That broke mindset, that scarcity mindset is what's going to get you stuck. So don't fall into that trap. All right, I'm gonna give you a bonus one. You stuck around for this long. You made it all the way to number 27. We just wrapped number 27. Number 28, the bonus tip is thinking that sales funnels are optional, because they're absolutely not. If you have a business, you absolutely need a sales funnel. Trust me, as you watch my channel, you'll learn more about them. But if you want to go ahead and dive in, go take the One Funnel Away challenge from ClickFunnels. If you go to mattpeet.com/OFA, I'll put the link in the description as well, or you just go to Google One Funnel Away. If you don't want me to get any commission, that's totally fine. But you need sales funnels in your business. If you've learned nothing else through this entire video, that is the core thing. This thing can be the rock that's holding you back from success. You need sales funnels. Focus on that. Okay, you're a dog groomer, you're a landscaper, whatever, you need a sales funnel. Doesn't matter what you do. Every product, every service out there needs a sales funnel. All right, I'm gonna leave you with that. If you want more videos like this, check out that one. It's really awesome and you're gonna learn a lot.